If you're a woman over 50, that morning cup of coffee you rely on can do one of two things: quietly accelerate collagen loss and deepen every wrinkle, or become the single most powerful moment of your day for rebuilding the skin you thought age had taken. As estrogen drops and your skin thins, even tiny habits shape how quickly you age. And adding just one simple ingredient can completely change what your coffee does to your face. I'm Dr. Eliza Hart, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist with over 15 years in women's health and hormonal wellness. After caring for thousands of women over 50, I've seen how quickly skin loses firmness when estrogen drops and how daily habits decide how fast those changes show on your face. Coffee itself is not the villain. It delivers a burst of energy without the amino acids and anti-inflammatory support your skin needs to rebuild collagen and soften new lines. With one simple addition, something you can stir into the cup you already drink, your morning coffee can shift from silently aging your face to helping restore smoother, resilient skin without another complicated routine or expensive cream. Before we go further, please subscribe and comment your country to show me this message is reaching women worldwide and help me reach 50,000 subscribers. Stay with me until the end. I have a small surprise about this ritual that you'll love. Now let's begin with the first ingredient that turns your coffee into skin nourishment. 1. Cinnamon, the anti-glycation protector. Many women tell me that the moment they cross 50, their skin begins changing in ways they never expected. Lines that once softened overnight now settle more deeply, and the complexion gradually loses its smooth, even glow. What most women don't realize is that this acceleration isn't simply age, it's biochemistry. After menopause, declining estrogen makes your skin dramatically more vulnerable to glucose fluctuations, and one of the most damaging outcomes of these fluctuations is glycation, a process that stiffens collagen from the inside out. In clinical research, glycation increases as much as 35% after menopause, and this alone can deepen wrinkles, weaken elasticity, and make the skin appear older than it truly is. Cinnamon becomes important here, not for its flavor, but for its ability to steady the very glucose patterns that fuel this damage. A 2019 Journal of Diabetes research study showed that Ceylon cinnamon reduced post-meal glucose spikes by 18–25%, and this reduction directly lowers the production of glycation end products, rigid molecules that attach to collagen and make it less flexible. I think of a patient named Melissa, 61, who felt her nasolabial folds were deepening far more quickly than in previous years. Her skincare routine was consistent, but her fasting glucose was slightly elevated, a pattern I see often after 50. She began adding half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon into her morning coffee. The first change she noticed was steadier energy, but by the 6th week, the improvement became visible. Her mid-cheek area looked smoother, her lines lost their sharpness, and her complexion looked far less fatigued in the late afternoon. Her collagen wasn't being magically rebuilt, it was finally being protected from daily biochemical stress. To use cinnamon correctly, choose Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia, which carries higher coumarin levels. Keep your daily amount modest. Half a teaspoon is enough for meaningful metabolic support without overwhelming digestion. And it's important to understand that cinnamon is not a replacement for collagen peptides, retinoids, or protein. Instead, it creates the metabolic environment that allows those interventions to work more effectively. When your collagen is no longer battling daily glycation stress, your skin becomes far more responsive to nourishment. And the next ingredient strengthens your skin through an entirely different pathway, one that improves circulation and oxygen delivery to the deeper layers of your complexion. 2. Cocoa powder, circulation and glow booster. One of the most noticeable changes women experience after 50 is a slow fading of natural radiance, a dullness that no moisturizer seems able to correct. What many don't realize is that this shift often begins in the microcirculation. As estrogen declines, the tiny blood vessels responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients to the skin become less responsive, and without adequate circulation, Collagen repair and cellular turnover slow dramatically. Pure, unsweetened cocoa powder stands out because it supports the very vascular pathways that aging disrupts. Cocoa is rich in flavanols compounds shown to improve endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to dilate and transport oxygen efficiently. A 2020 Journal of Nutrition study demonstrated that older adults consuming high flavanol cocoa experienced a 21% improvement in flow-mediated dilation, a key indicator of vascular health. When blood flow increases, more oxygen reaches the fibroblasts responsible for collagen synthesis, giving the skin a more even tone, smoother texture, and a healthier glow. Not because cocoa creates collagen, but because it restores the essential conditions collagen needs to thrive. I think of Linda, a 58-year-old teacher who felt her skin looked flat and almost gray, despite excellent sleep and consistent skincare. When we evaluated her habits, the missing piece became clear. Her circulation was sluggish. She began stirring 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder into her morning coffee. The change wasn't immediate, but by the 5th week, she noticed her cheeks looked less deflated. Her complexion carried a soft brightness again, and fine lines near the temples appeared less pronounced. What improved wasn't superficial, it was her skin's oxygen supply. To use cocoa effectively, choose pure, unsweetened, natural cocoa, not drinking chocolate or cocoa mixes. Hot coffee helps the flavanols dissolve and activate more uniformly, making the combination especially effective. Many women unintentionally sabotage this step by choosing sweetened cocoa blends, assuming they offer the same benefits. The added sugars increase glycation and inflammation, directly harming collagen. Others use large amounts and experience digestive heaviness or breakouts, reminders that more is not better. When circulation improves, the deeper layers of your skin finally receive the nutrients and oxygen they've been missing for years. And once that foundation is stronger, the next ingredient offers an entirely different form of support, one tied to hormonal steadiness and the resilience of your skin barrier. 3. MCT oil or coconut oil, hormone and elasticity support. A concern many women share with me after 50 is that their skin begins to feel less resilient, almost as if the deeper layers have lost their natural spring. This isn't just a surface issue, it reflects how your cells convert energy once estrogen declines. As hormonal protection decreases, the skin becomes less efficient at using glucose, leading to cellular fatigue that slows collagen turnover, weakens elasticity, and contributes to a softer, less defined facial structure. MCT oil and high-quality coconut oil helps counter this shift by providing a steadier, cleaner fuel source. MCTs convert rapidly into ketones, an alternative energy supply the skin can use without the highs and lows caused by glucose. A 2021 Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging study showed that adults over 50 who increased ketone availability experienced better mitochondrial efficiency and improved cellular resilience, 2 qualities essential for maintaining firmness. When your skin cells receive consistent energy, fibroblasts remain more active, allowing collagen maintenance to continue rather than stall during metabolic dips. I often think of Janet, 60, who felt her lower face had started to sag even though her weight hadn't changed. She experienced daily mid-morning energy crashes, and her skin visibly deflated as the day went on. She began blending 1 teaspoon of MCT oil into her morning coffee. What changed first was her stamina, but within 6 weeks, her skin responded as well. Her jawline looked subtly lifted, her mid-cheek area regained fullness, and she no longer saw that late-day collapse in the mirror. To use MCT or coconut oil effectively, start with 1 teaspoon blended into hot coffee so it emulsifies smoothly. Those who prefer a natural option can use virgin cold-pressed coconut oil. What I caution women about is increasing the dose too quickly, which commonly leads to digestive discomfort, or purchasing refined deodorized coconut oils that offer few metabolic benefits. Another misunderstanding is expecting these oils to tighten the skin directly. They don't. They strengthen your skin's energy metabolism so collagen-supporting habits can work to their full potential. When that cellular steadiness is restored, your skin becomes better prepared for the next ingredient, one that triggers the biochemical signal essential for collagen repair. 4. Soy milk. Milk, the leucine trigger. One of the subtler signs of aging that many women overlook is the slow weakening of the skin's underlying support structure. Even when collagen supplements are in place and skincare routines are consistent, the skin can still look flat or undersupported if the body isn't receiving enough leucine, the amino acid that directly triggers collagen repair and protein synthesis. After 50, this becomes especially important because your muscles and skin become less responsive to small protein amounts, a phenomenon called age-related anabolic resistance. Leucine activates the mTOR pathway, the biochemical switch that signals your body to begin rebuilding tissue. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adults over 50 require 30–40% more leucine to trigger the same repair response as younger individuals. This is why adding soy milk or milk to morning coffee can make a meaningful difference. Both provide a quick source of high-quality protein at the exact time your cells are primed to receive it. For women who don't eat much breakfast, this small step prevents the long fasting window that accelerates collagen breakdown. I'm reminded of Elaine, 59, who felt her skin looked increasingly thin across the cheeks, almost as if there wasn't enough underlying structure. She wasn't eating breakfast regularly, and her daily protein intake was lower than she realized. When she began adding half a cup of fortified soy milk to her coffee each morning, she noticed her skin looking subtly fuller by week 5. Her makeup sat differently, her jawline looked less hollow, and she described her face as having its padding back. To use soy milk or milk effectively, choose a fortified, unsweetened option, as sugar undermines collagen by increasing glycation. Many women unintentionally choose flavored versions believing they are equally beneficial, but the added sugar often cancels out the metabolic support. Others rely on full-fat dairy and later notice oiliness or breakouts. Before we move to the next ingredient, I want to hear from you. If you already use soy milk or milk in your coffee, comment 1. If this is new to you, comment 0 so I can understand where you are in your routine. Once your body has enough leucine to activate collagen repair, the next ingredient supplies the structural material that allows your skin to rebuild strength and elasticity. 5. Collagen powder, the structural rebuilder. There comes a point for many women after 50 when skincare alone no longer creates the firmness or bounce they once enjoyed. Even with consistent routines, the deeper layers of the skin begin to thin because collagen production naturally declines by about 111.5% each year after menopause. Topical creams cannot reach those deeper dermal layers, which is why oral collagen, specifically hydrolyzed collagen peptides, remains one of the most direct ways to supply the amino acids your fibroblasts desperately need. Collagen peptides are broken down into small fragments of glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, which the body can absorb quickly. A 2022 systemic review in the Journal of Drugs in Dermatology found that daily collagen supplementation improved skin elasticity, hydration, and dermal density in women over 50, with measurable changes appearing between weeks 6 and 12. When these peptides enter the bloodstream, they stimulate fibroblasts to increase collagen synthesis, a response that becomes harder to trigger with age. I think of Marlene, 63, who told me her skin felt thin like tissue around the jaw and cheeks. She had tried multiple creams but saw little change. When she began adding 1 scoop, 10 grams of hydrolyzed collagen peptides to her morning coffee, the shift wasn't dramatic at first. But by the 8th week, her skin's texture looked smoother, her jawline felt more supported, and the fine creasing along her cheeks softened in a way topical products had never achieved for her. To use collagen effectively, choose hydrolyzed collagen peptides, not gelatin or unprocessed collagen, which is poorly absorbed. Mixing it into hot coffee helps it dissolve completely without altering taste. I often remind women that collagen is not a quick fix. It is structural, nutrition, and consistency matters far more than enthusiasm during the first week. Some women unintentionally sabotage their results by expecting collagen to replace protein intake, using products with fillers or switching brands so frequently that their fibroblasts never receive a stable supply. When collagen is replenished and the deeper dermal matrix becomes stronger, your skin becomes far more responsive to the next ingredient, one that amplifies the very signal required to activate collagen repair at a cellular level. 6. Whey protein, the collagen activation signal. Many women tell me that no matter how faithfully they take collagen, their skin still struggles to regain firmness. What they don't realize is that collagen cannot rebuild on its own, it must be activated. After 50, the body enters a phase known as anabolic resistance, where smaller amounts of protein no longer trigger the biological signal needed for tissue repair. This means that even if you supply collagen peptides, your fibroblasts may not receive the message to start rebuilding unless leucine levels rise high enough to activate the mTOR pathway. Whey protein is remarkable because it delivers this leucine threshold more reliably than nearly any other protein source. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults supplementing with whey experienced 38% greater improvements in lean tissue repair compared to those who relied on diet alone. For the skin, this translates into stronger fibroblast activity, better collagen assembly, and improved dermal thickness, all essential for reducing sagging and restoring structure. I often think of a patient named Judith, 64, who felt her skin remained loose even after consistent collagen use. Her diet was light and breakfast was frequently skipped. When she began adding 1 scoop of unflavored whey isolate to her morning coffee, she noticed her energy stabilizing first. By week 7, the base of her cheeks looked firmer, her jawline appeared less slack, and the fine wrinkling around her mouth softened. The change happened not because whey replaces collagen, but because it activates the repair system collagen depends on. For best results, choose whey isolate, which is easier to digest, especially for women sensitive to dairy. Mix 1 scoop into hot coffee or blend it briefly to avoid clumping. Some women unintentionally limit their progress by choosing flavored whey protein packed with artificial sweeteners, which can trigger inflammation, or by giving up too soon because the first week feels unfamiliar. Others select whey concentrate and experience bloating, mistakenly believing the protein itself is the problem. When the collagen signal is finally activated and your dermal matrix becomes responsive, your skin is ready for deeper nourishment, particularly the omega-3 rich hydration source found in the next ingredient, which supports elasticity from the inside out. 7. Ground chia seeds, omega-3 and deep hydration. One of the biggest challenges women face after 50 is keeping the skin hydrated from within. Even when moisturizers are layered properly, the complexion may still look crinkled or deflated, especially around the eyes and cheeks. This isn't simply dryness, it's the combined effect of declining estrogen, increased transepidermal water loss, and reduced lipid production in the deeper layers of the skin. Ground chia seeds offer a unique form of internal support by providing omega-3 fatty acids, a hydration-locking gel matrix, and steady blood sugar control, all of which directly influence the skin's ability to hold moisture. Chia seeds contain alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that helps calm low-grade inflammation and supports the lipid barrier. A 2018 trial in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults supplementing with ALA-rich foods experienced improved skin hydration and smoother texture within 8 weeks. When chia is ground and added to hot coffee, the soluble fiber forms a gel-like matrix that slows digestion, stabilizes glucose, and prevents the mid-morning crashes that often worsen glycation and collagen stress. I'm reminded of Donna, 60, who struggled with crepey skin across her neck and chest. No cream seemed to hold moisture for more than a few hours. When she began adding 1 to 2 teaspoons of freshly ground chia seeds to her morning coffee, the first thing she noticed was improved digestion. But by the 5th week, her skin looked less papery, her fine lines appeared softer, and the dehydrated look that had bothered her for years began to fade. Her improvement came from internal changes, better hydration retention, and reduced inflammatory stress. For best results, grind chia seeds just before using them as whole seeds often pass through the digestive tract without releasing their nutrients. Stir them into hot coffee so they disperse instead of forming a thick gel. Many women unintentionally undermine this step by using whole seeds, which provide little omega-3 benefit, or by adding large spoonfuls that create bloating and discourage consistency. Others mix chia into cold drinks, which prevents the fibers from activating properly. Once hydration and omega-3 balance improve, your skin becomes noticeably calmer and more elastic, creating the ideal foundation for the next ingredient, a powerful anti-inflammatory duo that protects collagen at the deepest biological level. 8. Turmeric plus black pepper, anti-inflammation powerhouse. Almost every woman who comes to me after 50 describes the same pattern. Their skin simply doesn't bounce back. A single stressful day can leave lingering puffiness. A restless night can deepen. Fine lines and redness becomes harder to calm. These changes aren't superficial. They reflect a deeper shift in the body's inflammatory balance. When estrogen declines, its natural protective effect weakens, leaving the skin more vulnerable to slow, persistent inflammation that quietly erodes collagen. Turmeric, when paired with black pepper, becomes one of the most reliable ways to support this internal balance. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, helps regulate some of the key inflammatory pathways in aging skin, including nuclear factor, kappa B, and COX-2, both known to accelerate collagen breakdown when overactive. The limitation is that curcumin alone is poorly absorbed. But a 2007 Journal of Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics study showed that pairing turmeric with piperine from black pepper increases absorption by up to 20 times. That single enhancement is what allows curcumin to reach the bloodstream and deliver benefits that women can actually see: calmer skin, fewer inflammatory flares, and less visible collagen loss. One woman who comes to mind is Laura, 65, who struggled for years with stubborn redness across her cheeks and a heavy sagging sensation around her lower face. Topical creams helped temporarily, but the inflammation always returned. When she began adding half a teaspoon of turmeric with a small pinch of black pepper to her morning coffee, she didn't expect much. But by the 7th week, her skin tone looked noticeably calmer. The puffiness around her jawline eased, and the fine lines along her cheeks softened as the inflammation settled. To use this combination effectively, keep the amount modest and mix it into hot coffee so the compounds disperse smoothly. Many women unintentionally reduce the benefits by using turmeric without pepper, choosing low-quality powders with fillers, or taking large amounts that trigger digestive discomfort. Used thoughtfully, this duo becomes a steady daily support for the collagen that menopause leaves more vulnerable. With inflammation finally under control, you now have all 8 components of a collagen-supporting coffee routine that works with your biology. From here, everything your skin needs can be guided into one clear, consistent system. As you've seen, each addition to your morning coffee supports a different layer of what your skin needs. After 50, steady glucose, better circulation, stronger collagen signals, deeper hydration, and calmer inflammation. When these steps work together, they create a foundation your skin can finally rebuild on instead of slowly breaking down. My advice is simple. Choose 2 or 3 of these additions to begin with. Stay consistent for at least 6 weeks and let your results guide the next step in your routine. If you find value in the work I share and you'd like to help this channel continue growing, your support through the Super Thanks button truly makes a difference. It helps me keep creating research-based guidance for women navigating this stage of life. Before you go, please like, share, and subscribe. Every gesture helps this community reach more women around the world. Thank you for spending your time with me today.